Geweld in skole was die afgelope tyd weer behoorlik in die kollig. Dit voel asof hierdie probleem aan die toeneem is en daarom het ons besluit om vanoggend so 'n bietjie daarop te fokus. So ek gesels vanoggend met Steve Mabona, Departement van Basiese Onderwys. Hy is dan nou 'n woordvoerder wat nou telefonies by ons aansluit. So good morning Mr. Mabona and welcome to the program.
Goeiemôre mense.
Baie dankie, dis lekker om weer met jou te gesels. I would like to refer to some of the main reasons for violence in schools.
Look, as the department, we have identified some form of learners that are violent, or we term them as bullies. So what we have decided upon is that we need to identify all those learners that we think they are bullies, because there are no in our schools. Those that belong to gangs as well, we need to identify and make sure that we assist them. Professionally, we've identified people that will be in a position to assist us. Take those learners through programs which, will assist them. Diversion programs that will, say to them, make them understand what is it that they're going to do at school, what is it that is needed from them, and how they need to behave. So we think that by doing that, we might alleviate the pressure that we succumb, in our schools, where we find that some of our learners are, violently expressing themselves, and we think that we don't need such a situation. And you hear teachers go to an extent of saying they want to go to school, armed themselves, and we can't have a situation whereby we'll be having a skid maker in our schools.
Well, that's true, because I would like to ask you, to elaborate a little bit more on the department's view with regard to the Educators Union of South Africa's proposal that teachers should carry ammunition to schools in order to defend themselves.
No, it's just an unfortunate call. And it came from people who don't even have membership, enough for them to express such views. But we felt that probably because they are frustrated, they need assistance. We felt that we will, interact with them, but to say we must then allow, teachers to come with the, weapons at schools. It's a situation that you don't want, because now what if learners will also say, if teachers are armed, also let's arm ourselves. So we're going to have a situation whereby it's out of control and you're not going to be in a position to manage. But we have devised those mechanisms to say, let's try to alleviate whatever violence is happening in our schools, whether it's a learner to educator. At a certain extent, educators, they know that they cannot express themselves violently because they know that they will, definitely get out of the system quicker, because we have the South African Council of Educators that will be assisting us to say, if you are such a teacher, you are not needed. I guess you will also understand that there's no corporal punishment in our space.
Yes.
So we feel that we need to work with parents, make sure that identify those learners, working with parents, make sure that at least we, take them to the programs which they will then assist the, learners accordingly.
So clearly you do not see this as a solution, but I'm gonna ask you right after the ad break and the news, I'm gonna ask you a little bit more about, any other solutions. Ons sluit af met vanoggend se telefoniese gesprek met Steve Mabona van die Departement van Basiese Onderwys oor geweld in skole. Mr. Mabona, we've referred to the Educators Union of South Africa's proposal that teachers should be allowed to carry ammunition to schools in order to defend themselves. You don't see that as a solution, so are there any other solutions?
Yes, that will not work in our environment. Hence, we also are against a proposal that we must have soldiers or police, stationed at our schools. It's a situation that is unbearable. We are saying it's not all the schools that we have where we have challenges. We have over 2,300 schools. So, not all of them, they are bad. But what we are saying, where we have challenges, then we need to intervene as quick as possible. But we call upon, other organizations and our sister departments to work with us. I mean, we have a commitment from the Department of Community Safety that, working with the police, we will have identified a police officer that will be linked to a certain school. In the event of anything, then that officer will be in a position to can assist, because we are experiencing challenges whereby complaints are, lodged to say the response time probably from the police sometimes it's slow or it's not satisfactory, and we feel that some schools they will then be taken from pillar to post, not assisted as quick as possible. So we feel that if we have that officer who will be assigned to a certain school, then probably might alleviate the pressure or any violence that might happen in our space. Because the other challenge is that some of the things they happen, not inside the school premises. They will happen outside. Mm-hmm. So it's important that we must just make sure that we work together and nip it in the bud, make sure that it doesn't happen in our space. And if there's a complaint that other learners are gangs or they belong to, groups which are doing bad things, then we're in a position to can identify them, take them through the process that will be saying will not tolerate any ill discipline in our space. Mm-hmm. So we're thinking that working with parents, of course, and other, organizations, the NGOs that are doing good work in and around our schools. So we'll call upon them to come closer so that we can then work together in this. Because as Department of Education alone, it will be difficult for us to instill discipline to our children. Meanwhile, other sectors, parents and other sectors are not playing ball.
Mm. Don't you think there's a need for better control in order to have a look and see if these school children are, armed with weapons? In other words, inspection.
That is happening. I mean, in the event of anything, a principal can just call a police station to say, can you come and conduct your search and seizure, where they will be, probably if they are quick enough, they will come in the they don't even need a search warrant. They just, come to the school because your school's act, warrant them can do that exercise. So they will come in the school, conduct searches. If they found, weapons or any equipment that is not needed, including, drugs, they will then act, appropriately, because they will then be, identified from learners, and they will be in a position to take up, appropriate steps. But
yes,
cannot allow a situation whereby weapons or substance abuse is happening in our space and we're doing nothing about it. It's happening. To a certain extent, we need more vigilance in us doing it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much.
Dit was dan Steve Mabona van die Departement van Basiese Onderwys.
Welkom by die Groot Ontbyt se YouTube kanaal. As jy dit nog nie gedoen het nie, maak seker jy teken aan deur op die rooi subscribe knoppie te druk. Yo, woo, woo.